it's 2:02. Okay. Hello, everybody. I'm Jessica Nip, and I'm here today with Lisa Digeso. Hi, Lisa.
Hi.
I'll do a little quick intro, but I think everybody knows who Lisa is here. She is based in Canada. Her portrait business is Milk and Honey Photography, and she is also the co-owner of the Milky Way, which is an educator's resource. And she recently launched the Art and Soul Academy. I think in the fall, right? Was it the
We
fall
did.
that you
Yeah,
launched
we
that?
did. Yep.
Which I love the tagline for that. Well, it was short and actionable courses.
Yep.
Yep, for photographers. I love
Quick
that.
wins,
Short
baby.
and actionable. And there's a matching podcast that's called the Art and Soul Show, which you can stream on Apple and wherever you stream your podcasts. And what else? She's also an educator and a mentor. She does many, many things.
Yep.
So welcome again,
Thank
Lisa.
you. Thank you for
How are
having me.
how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. We were just talking off camera, and
Mhm.
this is the first time I put my makeup on in like a month. So this is awesome.
And
I've got my
Lisa's,
I've got my fancy yoga pants on today.
yes. Yeah, we both got have leggings on or some form of leggings and elasticized waistbands. Yes. And Lisa's based in British Columbia, and she was sharing that British Columbia is not closed or locked down. So you are working right now, or you aren't, or you're shooting. You're not shooting, but you're working on your other things. Can you share with us?
I'm taking a bit less clients than I have in previous years. But I'm actually fully booked until July and starting to book. Like I just had a client message me yesterday and she's like, I just peed on the stick. I'm
Oh my
pregnant.
gosh.
So with baby number 4, and I photographed all of them. So I'm like clearly I'm booking into September right now. So at this point, I've actually kind of decided to start working less on my milk and honey business just because Milky Way is like it takes a lot of time to do
Hmm.
everything that I do. So doing less means I can do more in other ways.
Yes. So the Art and Soul Academy, is that a little branch of Milky Way?
It is. We wanted to create something that our students could come into each month where they're supported in their art, their business, and themselves, their personal growth, their confidence. So we've had some really amazing mentors and teachers. I know you're in there too, have come in, and it's just been really, really neat. It's been something that we've been talking about doing a membership site for years, and so we're like, you know what, let's give it a go. Let's try it. So the response has been fantastic.
It's a wonderful place to learn. And I especially love the podcast. I would highly recommend listening.
Oh,
She's interviewed many people from all over,
yeah, we've got
many inspiring
episode
people.
52
Oh my
happening
goodness.
next week, and it's actually my very first solo episode. So
What does that mean?
it means I'm not interviewing anyone. It's
Oh,
all just my words. So that was like
oh la
very
la.
scary, out of my comfort zone, but I'm really
Okay.
excited to start that branch in the podcast too. And we just actually launched the 2021. Oh my gosh, what year is it?
Yes, I know. We're all losing
Newborn
track.
retreat just
Oh,
started.
yes.
Yes, so we've
Yes.
got so many excited students happening in there, and it's a very, very, very busy community in there right now. We've been having lots of fun, and
Yes.
yep,
Yeah, those newborn retreats are amazing. I love that it's just you just learn at your own pace from your
yep,
own home in your pajamas. I think that's what you wrote on your
yep.
right on your advertisements
Yep,
for
no
it.
live components. I mean, we're all so busy, you know what I mean? Like
Yes.
we just really had to make it so accessible to everybody. And I'm like, if I, our favorite thing is to ask ourselves, wouldn't it be awesome if? And then like answer, wouldn't it be awesome if? And then create something that addresses that. So
Yep.
yeah, we just have
It's
fun.
clearly working. I think if I think there aren't many photographers who you speak to who haven't heard of the Milky Way or have taken a class. So you're awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
So we're here today with Lisa for Feedback Friday. This is our last one before next Tuesday's deadline to apply for accreditation. And we have a few more submissions to go through. And Lisa will be one of the judges for this round, for this accreditation round. So we're going to get to know her a little bit better and her judging style. So before we look at the images, can you maybe share something that you look for right away or something that when an image crosses your desk, what you notice first?
For me, it's usually the lighting.
Mm-hmm.
Making sure, especially with maternity, newborn, baby photography, you gotta nail your lighting. And so, when once you have great lighting, it's so easy. It's so easy. So I always I think lighting is like my first one. Then I go into posing, usually color. I look at angles, the way that the way the image was taken. And I think sort of artist's intention and the
Mm-hmm.
creativity into it. And does it elicit an emotional reaction for me?
Mm-hmm.
So those are sort of like all the things that I kind of look for.
Okay. And I know you love the cuteness, the cute
Oh,
babies.
I love the babies.
Yes.
I was like, I think a
Ah,
smile trumps everything for me. Like, give me a baby smiling, I'm good.
yes, I've noticed that. And you're not the only one. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen to share the images. Let's see, share. And we have Teragram, Rosio, and Rosio watching with us. So hello, ladies.
Hi.
And this is our first image. So
Oh,
for each image, Lisa will tell us what she thinks. And then if she believes or feels it might have a chance of being accepted.
Yep.
Okay.
I love this image. This is really well done. This wrap is beautifully done. I know how hard wrapping is. So to the maker of this is a really, really beautiful job. Your posing is fantastic. I love the detail of the trailed off hat strings. I think that's just beautiful. The only thing I'm going to be so nitpicky, Jessica, it's like the
Mhm.
wrinkles on the left side of the wrap is like literally the only thing that
Oh,
really
yes.
that I really notice. But like if you just smooth that a little bit or just that, honestly,
Mm-hmm.
I think like the wrap job is amazing. The colors are beautiful. Your lighting is wonderful. Um, I think whoever did this did a really incredible job, and I think this would be accepted.
I think it's amazing that this photographer used all the same color, but
Yeah.
each piece stands out from the
Yes.
other. So yes, well done. I totally agree with Lisa. Oh, that was a quick one. That was easy. Let's move on
Sorry.
to the next one. Okay, we have this a maternity
Oh,
image.
I want to go there. This is a
It
cool
does look lovely.
location. Now, to be honest, to me, this maternity, she's a bit lost. My eye keeps wandering to the house, to the trees, to what's going on in the background, the big chunk of white in the sky. I am someone who typically will shoot with a 135 or a 200. It's rare that I am shooting with a 24 or 35. And I can tell that it's probably been shot on one of those lenses or maybe even a 50,
Mm-hmm.
just so much smaller in the background. But really, we are losing, like, we just lose focus here. So, my suggestion truly would be is maybe to just get closer, and just being aware of what is right behind her, because I find that that white spot just above her head, it just kind of takes away from the focus on her.
I agree. It's almost like a landscape photo with a
Hmm.
person in it
Yes, like
versus the other way
you
around.
can barely tell she's pregnant. It reminds me of a postcard. You know what I mean?
It
Like,
does. It does.
right,
With
a
the yes.
little bit of a postcard, like an artsy postcard, I really like. So if the intention was like an artsy postcard, you totally nailed it. But if the intention was a maternity portrait and looking for that connection, I definitely would get closer to your subject.
Mm-hmm. It would be great in a series. Maybe this was taken as a
Right?
series where, the
Yes.
photographer wanted to set the scene and then there are a few more portraits closer to the
Hmm.
subject.
Yeah.
Those would be better to submit than this
Yeah.
one for the maternity category.
And a little bit the gray in the upper sky of the clouds almost kind of, and especially with that old fashioned house, almost gives me a little like Halloweeny, spooky kind of
Yes.
vibe. You know what I mean? Like, and I mean this
Yes.
in the kindest way. But yeah, just that's kind of the emotional reaction that it does elicit from me looking at this image.
It does make me curious though to see the others and what
Right?
the story is behind this
I
location.
know. 100%. I
Okay.
want like that's such a cool location.
It is. It is. It is. There's something more
Yeah.
there, I think.
Yeah. Tell me more.
Yes.
Right.
Okay, we'll move on to the next one. There we go.
Oh, cute little detail shot. I love this swirl. I
I
love this
love
swirl.
whirls.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, Jessica, I'm really not a super duper macro person. I typically don't really shoot them. I find that they're not really something that my clients really request that much. So for me, I think with a macro shot like this, I think I would have pulled back a little bit or even stopped down just so a bit more of the hair was in focus. I
Mm-hmm.
love that swirl, but I also do love the softness. I just like a little scooch more in focus on that bottom swirl just to see it all going around.
Mm-hmm.
And that could have easily be changed by moving further back or just changing your f-stop.
Mm-hmm. It is a very close crop for me too. It's the
Yeah,
whole frame is the hair. I
yeah,
would have liked to see a little bit of a wider shot so it doesn't
yeah,
cut off some of the bottom.
yeah.
Okay, would you accept this one as part of a macro
It was
submission?
part of a macro submission. I think I would. Um, yeah, I think I would.
I'm not sure about this one.
Yeah. The color,
Okay.
well, it's a tough call,
Mm-hmm.
honest. It's a tough
Mm-hmm.
call.
Okay, we'll move on. There we go. Oh,
Oh,
and hi to Stephanie Robin. She's watching
hi,
with us too.
Steph. So the first thing, and this is a gorgeous image, but the first thing I kind of noticed a little bit is the lighting on the baby is a bit uplit, which can be tricky in this pose because you've got some great deal. I love being able to see mom's lashes and how soft that is.
Yes.
So I really like this image, even though technically it is uplit. And I really like the conversion. However, I might pull back the shadows just a little bit. I can tell that the mom's wearing black. Um, and so the blacks are quite clipped in the shadows. So we're losing
Okay.
a lot of detail in the shirt. So what I might suggest is just in that area, bringing up the shadows, just so it doesn't really look like baby's like hanging in space.
Do you have any tips for how to do that at the session, or do you think
I think
it's easier to do after?
probably what I would have done is, can you see me?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Is probably turn body a little bit more. And I probably would have placed baby's head a little bit lower down so the light was coming onto it. I mean, at the same time, it's really beautiful, moody black and white. So it really kind of
It
depends
is.
on your style and your intention and what you want to do with it.
It is. I imagine if the whole submission were these beautiful black and whites or these contrasty kind of natural moments, I think it would be
Mm-hmm.
accepted. I think it's gorgeous.
Yeah. And I love the detail of like the dry skin on baby's hands.
Yes,
Like I
I
am
love that
such a
too.
sucker for it. Like just that
Thank you for
freshness.
not retouching that, whoever
I
this
love that.
photographer is.
Mm-mm.
Yes.
I like the realness.
Yep. Okay, let's move on to the next one.
Oh, there's a little
Look at
smile.
this smile. There's a smile for you, Lisa.
I love it. Okay, so in my head, I'm on my first checklist is okay. Where is the light? How's the lighting?
Mm-hmm.
And we're looking pretty good. Like it's coming up more
It's
of like
coming
a
up a little bit.
45. I'm just looking. I like to look for catch lights in people's eyes, especially. I may have actually turned parents a little bit closer to the light just so those catch lights were a little stronger. But you got to smile. You got to
Yes,
smile, right? You got to smile.
it's
So
amazing.
I do love that. Just be careful with the hand in the front.
Mom's hand, dad's
Yes,
hand, or
because
baby?
mom's hand. And the reason
Okay.
for that is because it's so much closer to the camera, it's going to look a lot bigger than it is. So if you look at her face and then you look at her hand, look at the size difference between the two. Like she looks like she has quite a large hand there. So typically with this pose, I would prefer to see her hand down maybe around dad's waist or just out of the image altogether, just so you can see that kind of like solid muscle dad arm
Mm-hmm.
that guys like to show off. It would be my critique on that posing there. And maybe just scooching baby up just a little bit higher. I mean, but you got the smile. You got the smile.
It's amazing. Yes,
Yeah, and the colors are looking good. There's a bit of banding going on in the background, but I'm not sure if that's just from how it's just
I
being
see.
broadcast.
On the left of the image, right
And
around mom's
honestly,
head.
great job on glasses. There's only a scooch of a glare On the right hand side, you can see the little bit of the green there.
Mm-hmm.
Glasses are really hard and really tricky in a session. Often I'll ask my clients, even if they have low glare glasses, to actually take them off. So you did really good because you can see mom's eyes.
Yes. I've also heard the tip of taking a picture with them off and then putting them back on so that you have
Mm,
that flexibility to,
yes.
swap it if you need to.
Yep. 100%.
Okay. Oh, and would you accept this as
I
a
would accept
family?
this. I
Yep.
would. Yeah, I would.
Me too. Okay. Let's move to this. Oh my gosh, they look so comfortable. I don't
The
know if
outfit.
it's, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So my first thought is, of course, lighting. And to me,
Yes.
this looks like it's being uplit.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell by that catch light a bit on the bottom of baby's mouth where the light source is coming from. And for me, overhead shots, I do love them, but you've got to be really mindful of the angle that you're shooting at with an overhead shot because we're kind of shooting up the nose. You know what I mean? Like it's a
Yes,
bit
you can see
low.
the nostrils.
Yeah, like I'd
Mm-hmm.
rather see they make her to come on top and like just make sure they're above. Obviously, camera strap around your neck would be more of a preferable angle. I like that you do have. Oh, sorry, I think you've got all body parts in focus. Um, the I like the little fox in there, but the problem is such the same color as the outfit that it kind of blends together, and I had to do a double take to kind of tell a little bit what it was.
Yes.
But I do really like the colors that you've used and the extra props of like the pumpkins. This is obviously a fall harvest kind of session.
Very warm tones.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's really cute. The baby's skin tone actually looks fantastic. So that's one thing that I can definitely I think the baby's skin looks great. Um, other than that, there's just some small tweaks that I think need to be made, but you're definitely on your way.
I'm just trying to picture if the photographer were to take this to a more overhead position, would
Yep.
they then lose the mouth? Like, would they be at an angle where they when? So, how would you suggest
So what I would
dealing with that?
is actually taking like a rolled up towel or one of your posing beans and sticking it sort of under the nape or the base of baby's neck. So instead of folding down like this,
Hmm.
baby is tilting back up like this.
Good tip. All right. So, would you accept this?
I would not.
Okay. Okay. Let's move on. Oh, I love the tones in this.
Oh, me
This speaks to me.
too. Me too. Now, my first thought, so bear this in mind. I love solid monochromatic.
Yes.
So I can't tell if the specs on the blanket are because it's part of that blanket
Oh,
or they're
right.
just like like lint.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
I see what you mean. I think there's
right? You know what I
specs on the
mean? I
blanket,
think
but
so too.
I can see how somebody might have to take a double take.
Right? So that was my first reaction. And that's honestly, I'm so nitpicky, Jessica. Like I'm
I
so
think we all
nitpicky.
are.
Right?
Yes,
The posing is fantastic. I
it
love
is.
it. I love this pose. You've got hands laid perfectly flat. I think maybe it could be just baby or the way baby's face shape is. We may be a little bit low just because we're kind of seeing up the nostril a little bit.
Hmm.
So I may have come just like a hair higher. And it looks like maybe I can't tell if it's just from the resolution just coming through the broadcast
Hmm.
or if like the front of baby's head here is out of focus. Do you see that?
Oh, yeah, it's hard to tell.
Hard to tell. So, I mean, the lashes look great. The nose looks in focus. The lips look in focus, and I love how it trails off. But I'm just wondering if maybe you were too wide open, or I'm not sure because I'm not sure of the settings on this.
Hmm.
I would totally accept this though.
Yes, those lashes are
Oh,
incredible.
girl, I pay for those.
Okay, let's move on. I think this is the last one.
Okay.
And what are your comments for this
Well,
maker?
you are on your way. Now, my first thing that I really noticed, to be honest, is color. And with this one,
Mhm.
I'm finding it to be quite warm, quite yellow, and it's almost bringing out the jaundice if baby had jaundice in its skin. So what I probably would
Mhm.
have done is a yellow reduction just for that skin tone. As far as posing goes, this is kind of like it wanted to be a side lay and a taco, and it got mixed together.
Okay.
For me, this is not a strong pose. Also, baby's head is a bit too far down. We've got lips scooched in. It's those details of like when you've got baby in that position, if that lip is like kind of pulled in, you just kind of gently
Oh,
pull on,
yes,
on
I
the
see
chin
that.
just to pull out a
Mhm.
little bit. If anything, I would have liked baby's head kind of tilted up a little bit more so I could see the face a little bit more. Um, and because of the way things are lit, you've got the top of the baby's head really illuminated, and it's not illuminating the face. We've got a great shadow underneath baby's nose, but I almost wonder, Jessica, if overhead lights were on too.
Oh, and that might account for the orangey yellow tone,
Mm-hmm.
maybe?
Mm-hmm.
Because I definitely see the kind of the
Mm-hmm.
very saturated orange or yellow
Yeah.
tones.
I
Mm.
love the colors, like the color of um the blanket and the wrap that you've used there. I probably would have liked it to see the wrap used in more of an intentional way because it almost just looks like a bit of like a laundry pile clump and we just put baby on top there. So just I think being mindful of how you're placing baby and how you're using um, your wraps and your different things with intention.
I I agree, and I do have to say though the those fingers look very nicely placed.
The fingers look
From
fantastic.
from someone who doesn't pose babies to
Yeah.
someone who's to you,
Yeah.
I really do feel that those are great
Yeah.
fingers right there.
And honestly, like this
Yes.
this is so close to a really solid
Mhm.
taco.
Yep.
And what just needs to happen is that front body has to come a little bit further forward,
Mhm.
because you got the toes connecting with the elbow. It's just it's so close.
It's very close.
Yeah.
It is. And the baby does look very peacefully
Yep.
sleepy. So
Yep.
good job on
Keep
settling and
working,
whatever you're
Samantha.
doing. Mhm.
You're doing great.
Okay, well, that brings us to the end. And thank you to all of those makers who submitted. We hope that you got some great tips to work on your practice and your photos for this accreditation or perhaps the one later in the year. And thank you to Lisa for all the advice and the very useful tips.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I love what you guys have going on with APNPI, and I love being a part of this with you guys. So thank you for having me.
I know we love having you. Um, we shared a little bit about what you are doing behind in your work, your academy, the retreat. So I have actually a question to ask you. I always like to ask a little personal question. So I was looking up, what do I not know about Lisa? And I found this interview. I found this interview on the internet, and I think it was back from 2012. And
Oh,
you had mentioned that your most favorite photo ever of your son was of him running through a field holding a cookie. I don't
oh
even
my
do you
God.
even remember this photo? And you said it was your most
Oh.
favorite photo
Oh
ever.
yeah, I actually do remember this one. I do remember. It's no
So,
longer my favorite.
okay, so I was going to ask you, is it still your favorite?
No, you know
And if
what's
not,
even
what's your
funnier?
favorite?
My favorite photo I've ever taken was ironically on my iPhone.
Yes.
And oh, actually, no, it wasn't. It was not. It was an outtake at my business partner's. Actually, we did an outdoor cake smash for her little one,
Yes.
and I had got my son a cupcake, and I have a picture of him like sweet loving this cupcake, and like I have to share it with you because it's the funniest picture I've ever taken in my whole life.
Oh my
And
goodness.
I think like of all the photos I've ever taken, it just makes me laugh. There's nothing perfect about it, but it's just a memory of a wonderful day. And I think, I've been a photographer for like almost 12 years now, and I have taken
Amazing.
so many photos. And my favorites, honestly, are quickly turning out to be the ones that maybe I used to throw away. It's like those hilarious moments. So what I've been trying to do with all my sessions is make sure I include just silly outtakes of just kids being silly or not cooperating. Um, because that's what I love. That's what my parents have up on our house. We had like professional photos done when I was like 5 and my sister was 2. The picture my mom has on a canvas on the wall is my sister lifting up her dress, and I'm like,
Oh my God, you've got
right,
cool parents there.
right. So
Yes, we'll have to. I'll see if I can paste that photo. And Lisa, if you find that photo of the
yeah,
cupcake,
I'll
we'll
share it with
post it
you.
at the bottom of the saved video in the
Yeah,
Facebook group.
awesome.
Yes. All right. Well, that wraps it up, and we'll say goodbye and good luck to everybody submitting.